Opie and Anthony.
Which is good.
Opie and Anthony ruined an entire generation of podcasters. It's that simple. We have Mersh,
stand-up too.
We have Royce. We have all these people, and this leather handbag is to blame for it. Your show.
Anthony's back on AM radio, and already he thinks who the fuck he is.
By the way, I know I just said a moment ago that they should get a ghost to host the radio, and I know what you're thinking. Grandma, is that you? But no, don't get too excited. Your grandma is still in hell where she belongs. This is Anthony Cumia.
How everybody has, I was just talking about how everyone has a podcast. Everyone's new 15 minutes of fame is a podcast.
Oh yeah, that's new. That's just now been happening. Now that this man's been on the fucking radio for a week, and he's like, yeah, these people with podcasts. He's been doing nothing but podcasting he was podcasting when he was still on the air with Opie and Anthony.
Yes, and 99.9% of them are pieces of shit. They suck.
What?
They're not entertaining.
Anyway, welcome to the Anthony Cumia Show.
Yeah, that's his fault.
Over here on censored.tv, previously Compound Media, which fucking failed because it was filled with garbage, literally who podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
I called it, I think accurately, I've called it digital panhandling. This is
Oh, man. Next he's going to call them e-waitresses.
Now, I don't know when this clip happened, but I didn't see it until yesterday. The day before yesterday, we did an episode talking about, of course, digital litter. And it's funny because somebody in the comments got mad saying, I can't believe this guy is claiming he invented the phrase digital litter. And I didn't claim that, by the way, but I did say that I said it 6 years before certain other people started saying it. Certain other people who are watching.
Yeah.
They're
We're
watching,
a part of a tribe.
Yes. Who are watching every episode of PodAWFUL. And I know they're watching because they tell me they are. And I don't think I coined the I'm sure somebody managed to put those two words together before me. But I can't find any proof. I would love to see some proof. I can't find it. Now, here's the thing. Have I ever said digital panhandler before? I'm not 100% sure. Let me just keep watching this for a second.
Who said that term?
Mersh has to really gather himself. Hang on a second. He fell asleep. Mersh, wake up!
I'm going to start copywriting and trademarking things before I say them.
How are you going to copyright these things, Mersh? Traveling time? Does Mersh have access to a time machine? And if so, why is he poor?
On my sheet.
I'm going to get Uber to the patent office right next to my house.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this ready.
Do they got a patent office inside my Walmart?
These faggots.
God damn it, I was just going to make that joke.
When was the first time anyone in this audience ever heard the specific phrase digital panhandling?
Probably when I said it about you, I would guess. I would say it was right around the time where I said he might as well move to the Florida Panhandle because he is such a digital panhandler. I believe the first term we used was e-waitress. I have a feeling of all the times I've made the panhandle joke, this one might have come up at some point. Mersh thinks by the way, here's what I would like. I would like a time machine to travel time to find one instance of Mersh ever saying this phrase I've never heard him say before. He seems to think he invented this. Let me be clear, Mersh, it doesn't matter. Cumia didn't invent it. You didn't invent it. How many times, even just this week, have you heard me saying that all of these things, I just did it in that video we were just playing. This is not a show. This is a stream. There's a difference in it. And the difference is you do it for money. And this is exactly what I was saying for Ethan Van Sciver is you're not making a show, you're grifting. It's just a grift. And now that he's on the radio, Anthony Cumia thinks he's got something to say about it. Never said it before. Literally was running a podcast network and never said anything about this.
Thank you, Goofy.
I didn't even think of that at first, that like he had a bunch of those terrible podcasts on his network. I was just thinking about the fact that like most of the shitty podcasts he's talking about are trying to be Opie and Anthony.
Okay.
You made this happen.
Yeah, we're getting to that, Cole. Don't jump ahead of me. Hold tight. Okay.
Sorry.
We were watching this last night, and I was losing my mind over this. You have Anthony Cumia to thank for Gino Bisconti, for Chrissie Mayr, the female Mersh, by the way, of the internet, Chrissie Mayr, same guy basically as Mersh. By the way, proving Mersh's theory that if he had tits, he'd be more popular. I take that back. He has tits. You know what I mean?
Body type, man.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
If he was a lady with tits.
If he had hair, that would be his
Yes. Yes. So, but every single other show that was on that fucking network is garbage. Oh, I just remembered a show that was on that network for a while. Redbar Radio. Anyway, let's keep playing this.
Saying it, I heard you say that 4 years ago.
That still would not be, because I started making fun of you, according to Mersh, about 12 and a half years ago. I think was the latest Kanan on that, but at least 6 years ago. So there's no way. So you said it 2 years after I started saying it specifically about you.
Jim Edward, you called yourself the internet piano man, but I am.
The internet piano handler. I'm the internet
So
piano.
he's admitting to being a gay guy?
That's just a panhandler inside the bar,
Yes,
right?
that's it. The point of that is you're flipping him a quarter to play the jukebox, basically. That is what Nightwave is. That's why it sucks. It is what?
It is what it is.
Have I ever screamed at people like Aaron?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me go to my notes here. Let's see. I don't know for sure. I just have a feeling if I go to clips and timestamps about...
Sorry, it's only coming through the right channel.
Okay, I don't know what that
But
was
why? But why? But why? But why?
Okay, that's just the most recent clips of... I don't know. I'm positive I've seen Mersh yelling at people because they weren't giving him enough money. I think it would
Back
take...
when he had vitality and energy.
This would take like a Reddit detective about half a second to find a clip of this, I'm sure.
Goofy Boots knows. How many times have you heard me specifically say the term digital panhandling?
By the way, Goofy...
Twice now.
Goofy Boots in the chat was like,
You unoriginal fucking pedo fuck.
Groveling. It's begging. It's no different than when you walk down the street in New York City and see a bum sitting on the sidewalk with a sign
He said bum.
and a plate. What are they offering you? Nothing. Maybe they can't offer you anything. I don't know. I've seen some people in Times Square. They hit a spackle bucket, play a little tune.
See that, Jim? I'm that guy.
You're the guy with the spackle bucket? That's not...
The Busker?
By the way, you don't know what a spackle bucket is, number one. We could probably send you some with a thing of concrete. Number two, you don't do that even. Those guys blow. Everybody hates the dudes in Times Square. Like he's making fun of podcasters by saying that they're lower than this. Being that guy also is not good. You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the stinky Mexican in an Elmo costume.
Yeah,
Trying to
Mersh
take a
is dressed
photo.
in the dirty Spider-Man costume, and you get to take a picture with him.
Yes, and he like strong arms a child into giving him a tip.
Dude, you think you're cool? Today, somebody stepped over me on their way to work and complained about me when he got to work because he had to step over me. This
Right.
fucking bum in the road.
Dude, I'm making waves. I'm sort of the wave. I'm the wave in the sidewalk. People are stepping over me.
They jump
I'm the spackle bucket, nigga.
around and do flips, or they're dressed like Elmo. They're giving you something, whether you want it or not, whether it's good, whether you're averting your eyes, like in the case of Sandy Kane, is a whole nother story. But they're giving something in return of your charity, your donation, whatever you want to call it. The bum,
Glug.
the panhandler.
Now, of course, a normal, like if Mersh wasn't a lol cow, and we know he is a lol cow because
I'm a lol cow.
And also because we got a brand new one here, guys. Check this out.
Mersh is a lol cow. Mersh is a lol cow.
So
Nice.
if he were not a lol cow, he would be watching this and he would be wincing. He'd be going, he's talking about me. Ow, 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 ow. He thinks that this doesn't apply to him. And then immediately after this clip, you'll see that it in fact does.
Is just sitting there. And by their very nature of being a lazy bum or a mental patient.
When he said just
That's-
sitting there, I looked at Mersh.
Yep.
Guess what?
Yeah, he was just fucking sitting there. He even, when he said that, Mersh looked over like, can he see me? He was like this. What?
This is like an exercise in self-unawareness that's never been done.
All of a sudden, Mersh had the Aaron Imholt demon over here, and he checks over there. He's like, is that Anthony Cumia watching me right now?
That's all they're doing. And they expect you to
He buries a lot of people in this.
throw money.
You are like the top. You're at the bottom of the mass grave here, okay? You were the first guy thrown in.
At them for just that. Well, podcasting has become that.
Become.
Digital panhandle.
Every time he says, aren't you ready for him to say litter? Digital.
Yep.
Yes.
Digital bums sitting there doing
almost sounds
nothing,
like he's trying
supplying
not to
nothing,
say
giving you nothing, and just expecting.
He should. Cumia should be sitting there going.
I know.
Honestly, after the week I've had, so many shows have been covering me. I say shows, streams have been covering me, and I should just every show from now on, just in case someone ever wants to cover it, I should just go. Oh, and by the way, it's just out of nowhere. Apropos of nothing, this guy's a fucking gay guy. And then, sorry, I got to do it for the StreamYard people too. What the fuck? How did 5 different little facts get in here? They're always over there on StreamYard. There we go. And that covers everything. You should just do that from now on.
You to deal out your little super chat change. Here you go, old timer.
Now, I guess
Called
he's,
Old timer?
well, I think he's talking about this Kevin Brennan guy that Mersh was just playing. And I only assume that because Kevin Brennan, I had no idea. He looks like a reanimated fucking corpse at this point. It looks like somebody did, last second brain surgery on him as like a Hail Mary to bring him back to life. Some sort of Frankensteinian style reanimation project was done on his head. And so I guess he's calling him an old man. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's what it all is. That's all the super chat is. When people say grifter, it's the same way they used to say streamer or podcaster.
Could you spare a dime for a fellow American who's down on his luck? Hit the road. Remember that, Bugs Bunny?
Was that
Instead
Charlie
of
Adler for a
the
second?
stick with the bandana.
That's called a bindle, Anthony.
Bindle.
I'm not as old a man as you, and I somehow know what a bindle is.
With his
Isn't this the guy that was just calling people old timer as an insult?
Yes.
some of his goods in it.
Huh.
It's a computer
His
and
vittles.
a camera. That's all you need, right? And instead of that little jingle of change,
Why does he
in
have
their
a studio
cup,
then if that's all you
it's
need?
a super chat. But you're still a
I thought that was
Bum.
Steven Crowder's
You're a
studio.
bum, Jules.
I think he's saying it. So I think he's being sarcastic when he says that's all you need is a mic. He's saying like
okay.
anybody thinks because they can just buy this shit. You can literally go to Amazon and buy my first podcast, a little boy's podcasting kit, and just get whatever you
Get
need.
your ring light and your makeup.
Your ring light, your red and black foam squares for your wall.
Your Blue Yeti.
That's going to do a lot. And
RGB mic.
your Blue Yeti. No, yeah, you know what? Dirk's right. Actually, they've upgraded the Blue Yeti
Yeah.
to the RGB.
The Quadcast now.
Yeah, you got to get
Yep.
you got to get your Quadcast on, baby. Take a look at
Get
this.
this.
This is it. You want to be a podcaster?
Yep.
The original.
You need
Damn.
this little gay thing right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much.
That's
how
why
you
we
do
call
it.
Dirk the Quad Father.
But you're still a fucking bum. You're a bum, Jules.
What?
Oh,
Shout
he's a
out! Explosions! He's going to be putting that on his soundboard, by the way. You're a bum, Jules. That's going on the Redbar. You'll have to wait 6 entire months for it. Yeah. Spiderweb fingers. You will have to wait until he grows back a little bit more neck meat. He must replenish before he can come back on stream again. But that will be added to the soundboard.
And that's the majority of podcasts.
That's your fucking fault, Opie and Anthony. And I'm going to call him Opie and Anthony from now on. I've just decided his name is Opie and Anthony. Okay?
Is that not his name?
Opie and
That's the one that
Anthony.
he's
really bad,
Anthony?
which is good.
Opie and Anthony ruined an entire generation of podcasters. It's that fucking simple. We have
Ruined
Mersh,
stand-up, too.
we have Royce, we have all these people, and this fucking leather handbag is to blame for it. Your shitty show. And by the way, it was always shitty. I used to give it a little modicum of respect. I used to say that maybe, just maybe, in its day, it was good. No longer. No. I now know it was always, you know what? I'll just wrap it up with 2 words. It stinks. Because that's all they're saying the whole time on that fucking show. Oh, dude, it stinks. Dude, it stinks. It's basically
Tom Gully's going to be
It'd be better
very
to have
unhappy
the
with
Critic
us.
podcast.
It is basically, yes, it is the critic, which I love to see. I hate that phrase is ruined for me because I love saying it stinks because of the critic. Remember the critic, Jay Sherman?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Jay Sherman. You had, what's the guy's name? John Lovitz. He was Jay Sherman. He was a movie critic, and his interpretation of movies is it stinks. And that is a great thing, but it's not 4 hours of radio, okay? And when the only thing you punctuate it stinks with is a joke about you being a pedophile, then here's my review. It stinks, okay? So I am sick and tired of it. This motherfucker right here is the Ramona Flowers to dudes like Mersh, to dudes like Quad Father, Ian Ellis. Who else? I mean, you name it.
Comedy
Name a guy.
Shaman.
Comedy She-Man. Fuck that, though. Big name dudes. Like well-known
Mike Redbar.
grifters, obviously. Redbar was literally doing Opie and Anthony until
Tony.
one.
Gavin McGinnis to an extent, I feel like.
Here's the thing. I said earlier, Redbar was on Anthony Cumia's gay podcast network, and he was doing Opie and Anthony, just a direct ripoff of Opie and Anthony up until the day he was fired from Cumia's network. And then he went, I'm Howard Stern now, Jules. That's it. That's the fucking secret. You name it. And if I think it stinks, it either involves wrestling or Opie and Anthony. It turns out every time. And then guess what I found out? sometimes if you were to listen to Opie and Anthony, these motherfuckers are talking about wrestling.
Of course.
It shouldn't be possible. And yet, it's true. These guys all love wrestling. They all love Opie and Anthony. Some sort of diseased 6-year-old brain combination of these two elements have led to the digital panhandling you're talking about. Now, and I don't know enough about Opie here to know what his early days podcasts were like. Maybe he was asking for donations. I would love to know. I need to know, back when he first started, when he was still on air as a legitimate radio man, was he going on to his basement streams at night? And I'm not saying that derogatorily. He literally did them from his basement. Was he going onto those and asking for tips? Was he going on there and asking for donations? I have to know. Because I have a feeling now that must be it. It's got to be that all these guys who have been, all these Copy and Anthonys, all these Opie and Ape-thonies, every single one of them must have seen him do it at some point and went, that's me now. No, I'm that guy.
There are people, you know, in the circles I watch of this, there are people that do contribute. They write.
Are you one of them, by the way? Have you ever seen this guy's show? It's just, guess what? It's his Twitter timeline. It's all it is. And he's not adding to it. He's not like making something happen on that timeline. That would be different. If you were sitting there and like trolling people on Twitter and then you want to show it to me on your show, have at it. That's fucking content. If you were causing some sort of big scene or splash, let's go for it. If you're sitting there and reading the same fucking news stories that everybody is reading that day on Twitter, you are Chat GPT.
Topics.
Is this what, again, Anthony, is this what you're saying is good content?
No. And you know why he's not?
Shit.
You know why he's not saying that? Because he now knows he's on Mersh's show. This is the proof. The second you're in this box on Mersh's stream, unless you're going DDoS, 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 then no.
As long as him talking, as long as the him talking to clip playing ratio is in sync, he's giving you something. This is terrible.
You were sitting there rigging your dab during the clip.
Jesus Christ. And this is from a clip channel. We got to skip ahead.
It's a mess. So, Shuli's shows, you know, Trainables and,
yeah,
and Uncle Rico.
Shuli's a genius.
Blunder Years.
And I see people right now in my chat room having opinions on Opie. They're like, Opie's this, Opie's that. If you even have an opinion on it, you're part of the problem.
You know, the names alone are hilarious. They work. They're providing something. If they were just sitting there, staring at the feed, waiting for super chats to come in.
Mersh is, I'm not joking. I know where his computer setups are. Mm-hmm. He's looking right now to see if he's got any buy me a coffees coming in. That's exactly what's happening in this moment.
I'm sorry. No offense. I like Shuli. Shuli's always been nothing but nice to me. But can we, like, is that really the first show that came to mind, Anthony? Like, wow, the Shuli, man, Shuli stuff is next level. He's changing the game. Like, come on, man. Like, that's...
Well, you know who never comes to mind to anyone who is not me? You know who's really changing things? Mersh.
You're insulting your audience, isn't it?
Who is Shuli?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I will never know. I don't want to know. If you're in the chat room typing it right now to try to explain it to me, you're banned.
Intelligence.
The real answer is that it's a guy that Comedy Shaman came up with in his head, and somehow it leaked out like a tulpa into the rest of the world.
Exactly.
A bunch of old timers just hanging on.
Should we start calling ROTC Copy and Can't funny?
Yes.
It sounds weird, and it's so
It's
obviously
weird. Isn't it weird?
like cronyism bullshit. That you're like, yeah.
You mean the Mersh effect cronyism bullshit?
Hey, oh, Mersh effect, capo, come to me and kiss the ring. When I think about real good shit,
the
like
bait.
cutting edge stuff, like Shuley.
Okay, well, we'll just take a break here while you suck. And by the way, I know that we're taking a break from you sucking for you to do this, but look at this. He's like, he tried to blow a ring, failed, and then just went with it.
Say what you want about me, I'll tell you what's good, even if it's shit that I don't like. Like,
Yeah, but your opinion
What?
is less than trash. Who gives a shit if you think something's good? You think this is good.
even if it's
You thought this was good. Your entire adult life. Oh man, it's just like the Comics Gate people. Your entire adult life should not be comic books. Your entire adult life should really, really not be based on Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony is everything to you. And you knew he was a pedo, by the way. You knew that because he said it on the show. They used to say it. I've heard it. And now Mersh is like, he's a pedophile, so actually I think he sucks. Okay, then stop trying to be him. Because that leads me to wonder if maybe you're trying to be him in other ways.
I mean, people I don't like personally, or they don't even have to be people I don't like personally. They just have to be people that have been dicks to me in some way, and I have no reason to tell you they're good. But like, unlike Anthony, I'm not.
Can we just put the Tasmanian devil over top of him? Just going.
I go, like Shuley, the guy that sucks my dick all the time. He's a genius.
By the way, somebody sucks your dick. They probably, you should consider them to be a genius. You should be like, wow, you are the smartest fucking.
How many times have I told you Mike David's a genius?
How many times have I told you Ethan Van Sciver is a genius? Listen, when I say this man's a genius, I'm saying, I don't know. He's the GOAT of geniuses, if you know what I'm saying.
He's like super Mensa
He's
or
a
something.
spit on it savant.
He's joined a version of Mensa. It's off of Craigslist, but it's a version of Mensa. Listen, they have their meetups behind a dumpster in Lodi, New Jersey, but he's genius, this guy. I mean, when I say this guy's smart, he's smart.
How many times have people tried to come in here and try to bait me into, Mike David made fun of you once. So isn't he an untalented fuck? And
That's what you do with me, though. Me, the guy where there are multiple clips of you dying laughing at how funny my show is and how funny I am and telling people to go watch PODAWFUL. And then I made fun of you. And now I'm a fuck.
it's like, no, he's really good. He's very good at his thing.
You don't say it about him because you're still hoping that one day you can get a little steez. You can get a little clout. You are such a fucking chaser. And when I say chaser, I am talking about bug and not
Bug
clout.
chaser.
Yes, bug.
Ambulance.
Why would I do that?
Why would you do that? To look like a man? To not take it lying down? Ethan Van Sciver style.
Fuck. Before COVID, me and Royce were scheduled to be a part of Skanks Fest South.
And then COVID came and it turns out we sucked. This is a lie. Like Louis J. Gomez, they've talked to him. I have too. He's very easy to talk to. And he was probably like, oh yeah, dude, yo, doggy. Yeah, you can come. Yeah, I'll get you in. He probably said he'd get them in, knowing that they probably wouldn't even take him up on that offer. And then once they got there, the guy at the door would be like, I've never heard of you. You're not on the list. They're like, no, I'm performing. It's me, Mersh. He's like, no. It could literally say on the marquee, Skanks Fest, starring Mersh. And the guy at the door would be like, I'm going to have to check with somebody here because there's no way There's no way that's right. And while Mersh is standing there, they bring out a cherry picker and start taking the letters off of the marquee just to make sure.
Like gas digital and shit. But I'll still tell people like Lewis is fucking hilarious. Big J, like there's people over there that are great. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, and now it's the Toxoplasmoid show. This is a show. This is a real show. Anyway, send him money for his cats.
You're a bum. You're a bum.
So he starts playing again and it's like, oh, he is talking to him. I guess it worked.
There's segments during the show where, of course, you're going to read the comments for people that are giving you super chats. And even that is presented in an entertaining way. You're not just reading a ledger. It's like you're sitting there reading a tax document, your yearly tax form, some of these people. So that's great.
And the dude that I think they're talking about, this Kevin Brennan guy, his whole show is nothing but him reading super. There is nothing else going on.
And who are these podcasts? Of course, Carl and Company.
The fact that he's bringing these guys up and he's not just saying that's one of the worst offenders of the Opie and Anthony copy and apethony curse is they're just doing Jocktober. You've got to say that. You've got to say, he should literally say, he could end these guys' careers. You really hate this shit, Cumia? Just go, I got to be honest, these guys you got to stop. You literally ripped me off. And I should sue you. You should just say that. Obviously, you can't do that, but you should say it.
Carl has great guests. He just does a critique of podcasts. Oh, it's not his own material. He's using other people's podcasts. His own material is the fact that you can't just sit there and play someone else's shit.
While Cumia is saying this, Mersh is just ignoring the clip and talking to his cat.
With yourself in the corner and just, oh, look at this idiot.
He's in the corner. That's the corner man. He doesn't even hear him. He doesn't even know what's happening. Woo! Mersh is sitting there getting talked about and just, he is so this guy that he doesn't even get to hear the criticism about himself. He might as well get up and go buy a sandwich at the store, Hassan style, just leave his empty chair in the corner and say, oh, I'll be right back. Commentary.
That doesn't work. There's a way you do it. There's something you're supplying in that format, and they do it very well. And when people decide to show their appreciation through giving them money, whether it's super chats, if they're on that platform, or Patreon, or what have you, it's because they are getting something in return. Digital bums.
Right down here, the lower right-hand corner of a screen, that's the cuck chair of the internet. Right there. That's what this is.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard it. Bullshit. First of all, bullshit. Secondly, why would I say I don't? I watch all those guys. Not every show, but enough to know what's going on. And from what I've seen,
I clip it.
Kevin has just spiraled down into this pit of...
He's still right about this. He's just too late to the party, and it's his fault.
Destructive weirdness. It's just...
Kevin Brennan is his fault. Nobody knew who the fuck Kevin Brennan was. And then Kevin Brennan got a show on his network.
It's digital panhandling.
He used to do voices and shit.
He did a voice earlier in this clip, Mersh. If you weren't just sitting there playing with your pussy, you might have heard him do it.
Oh my God.
Broken, dusty...
You're making me sad, homie. Holy fuck, how many more days we got to do this? Oh, thank God it's Friday. Okay, good. So tonight at least I only got to do one more Nightwave officially. I mean, I still have to work through the weekend because I'm broke, but...
Mersh has been live every day for a month. Every day. Including Saturdays and Sundays, including Wednesdays, which he sometimes takes off. He's been live every day. Why? Because he's broke. What does going live have to do with that? He's a fucking digital panhandler. It's the same clip. We haven't edited anything. This was live.
Holy shit. Is this what people are doing now?
It's what you're doing. All right, that's it. I'm tired of watching this. You get it. This is Anthony's fault.